Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. When it's 6 o'clock in the evening and you go out and it's still 100 degrees outside, what do you expect to find in the garden? I expected to find this. Like, everything is looking wilty and certainly in need of that little bit of water. But I also found that this little hibiscus, which I had been waiting for it to bloom to see what color it was, and I was just sure that it was one of the annuals that came back from last year, but it actually is a hardy hibiscus. It's the pink Texas star hibiscus. And I would show you this one down here, which I will anyway, but it's not hardly blooming. It's so hot for it. The one I'm showing you right now is a little bit more in the shade. But this will be one I can give to my sister if she wants it, because it's a hardy plant that can live through the winter. It will die back down to its root and come back up next spring. And I'm also seeing that I do have a black and blue salvia bloom. And I have never seen my aloe vera bloom until now. Look at that. Isn't that a little bit amazing? Today is July the 28th, and I have not been trying very hard to get this little live trap set for this little bunny rabbit. I haven't put him anything in there to go after, and I'm afraid he is going after my little, yes, there he goes, my little bush. I do not want him to chew this up and destroy it. I guess I better go in and get him some carrots or something that maybe he might get in there and let this alone. So there has some carrots and some other green stuff I was able to find in the refrigerator. So I'm so glad my daughter told me. I said, I don't think they'll bother that little holly because its leaves are, they've got those sharp points. And she said, yes, they will. So she knew. She had had an experience with little bunnies and hollies before. And I wanted to show you a few things that are going on in the garden. This is one of them, is this pretty Mexican flame vine. But I don't know if you're anything like me. It's just not so fun when it's so hot outside. I dread coming out even just to water. And I did move this little bougainvillea. It was over here where now this hosta is here. Also, my daughter sent me a picture of the one I gave to her, and it is blooming. You can see that some of mine are too, which I'm not so terribly fond of the bloom, other than the fact that the hummingbirds love them. So every now and then I get to see a hummingbird enjoying those. And I'm also noticing that my little fuchsia plant is blooming today. I love that because I do love these little plants, and it's hard for me to keep them. They usually burn up. And what I'm hoping is that having a little more sunlight on this little plant will cause it to go ahead and start blooming. There's still lots of beauty outside if the person's strong enough to be able to handle the heat and enjoy it, which really I'm not. But I'm anxious for fall to come. When it starts getting really hot, I just try to think of what it's going to be like later when it starts to get cool again. And I'm seeing that I have a couple of tomatoes. And I was going to say that my nephew asked if I would put his garden on here sometime. So I'm looking forward to that, and I feel like that's an honor that he wanted to be on one of my garden posts. And one of our recent winds blew my little aloe vera down, and it didn't do my little bloom any good. It's just not looking so great. I was going to try to really enjoy that. It's the first time I've seen one in bloom, but it's with the heat and then with the wind, it's just not having any good luck. But we'll still keep an eye on it and see what it will do. There are some signs of fall. The seed heads on the grasses are showing up, and I'm still loving this. This is just a little arrangement that I got already put together at a Lowe's, and it's just been so pretty. It started right out dying for me, and so I clipped it all off, and it has rebounded, and I haven't had to re-clip it again. It's just kept going. I know I can't be lucky enough for it to continue on, but it's already done it so much that I just appreciate it. It's been a wonderful little thing to see and to enjoy this summer. I'm seeing that some of my little gomphrena are blooming, and as I was saying that, I was thinking that I've also called a gomphrena agara and agara a gomphrena in recent posts, so I didn't catch it either until I already had it sent out. But this is the little gomphrena globe flower, and this is the gara, and it's not blooming right now, so you may not think it's very pretty, but actually when it blooms it does have little pink and white flowers just kind of splaying around in the breeze, and it's very pretty. I'll try to get that for you if it blooms this season. It's a new plant for me this time. I've had them before though, and I really do like them. And I'm seeing that the ironweed plant is also blooming. This little bumblebee is enjoying this one. And I think my little tall phlox is feeling about summer, about like I am. It's just kind of done with it. I did see a pretty butterfly, a yellow and black swallowtail butterfly on these, but I did not get the picture for you. I was watering, and by the time I came inside, the butterfly had gone wherever they go for the night, so I missed it, and I haven't caught it out here again. I see my Henry Eiler's Rudbeckia is blooming today, and some of the sedum is beginning to turn its color. And the little onion allium are blooming. And I so expected this little gomphrena to be purple, but it's white. And this little butterfly bush is looking pretty good. But my other one, I'm pretty sure it's dead. It just gradually, one stem at a time turned brown. There's nothing left of it. And this little spirea that's the rainbow fizz, I may never get to see it in color because it's certainly not looking good. I don't know if I can get this for you, but can you see there is another rabbit? Not only are they, am I not catching them, but they're proliferating. I actually saw a baby one out here one day, so I know probably more than one, but I only saw the one. It's so cute though. And there's more of the pretty seed heads on the grass. And even though the garden is still pretty, all I really want to do is get it watered and go back inside where it's cool. But hopefully I'll get enough for you that you can enjoy this post, and then hopefully we will have some wonderful fall weather where I'll get to enjoy it. If I can just keep it alive and keep it going through this hot season to a better season. And this little pink coreopsis is blooming. It's so tiny, but it's pretty. And I thought my little pussy willow tree was coming up from the root, and it was, but I've trimmed off several of them, and it looks like I need to trim them off again. There's very few live looking branches there, but there's one, so you know I'm gonna keep hoping that it will live for me. So I also just happened to think I could put some of this on it and cover it and kind of ward those little rabbits off a bit. You can tell they can still get plenty if they decide to. And I put this one over this little aster, which may be way too late already to save. I put our cantaloupe rind out here hoping to get some butterflies interested, and it looks like I do have one. I also put the other half of it in the front, and so far I've got way more ants than anything else. But they do love rotting fruit, so there'll be a few of them find it. So I'm going to have to get busy watering, and I'll get back with you later. And I almost forgot to show you that my little elephant ear bulb is putting on some leaves. Black and blue salvia. And again, the pretty Mexican flame vine bloom. And I noticed another sign of fall. One of my magic lilies, or surprise lilies, is blooming. Today is July the 31st, so we'll be coming up into August. And we actually got a wonderful surprise today too. Because the weather has changed. It's only going to be for about 4 days, I think, but it's now in the 80s, and yesterday it was 100, so we're going to have this for a little bit of luck and a little bit of a blessing from the Lord. And while it's a little cooler, I'm thinking about pulling up a bunch of these yellow zinnias. They are pretty, but I'm just thinking about what these are going to look like next year. These will drop seed, and I'm sure they already have dropped seed. But if they drop all this amount of seed, I will have so much trouble getting these out, and they're actually proving to be invasive. And I think I can find something that's pretty and that doesn't just scatter seed everywhere. I'm hoping that will be the case, and hoping that it hasn't already got so much out of hand that it's going to be a problem for next season. So my plan is to come out here just right soon and get some of this pulled up out of the ground. It may look a little bare here, but I think it's going to be better to go ahead and take it up and hope that I've saved myself some work for next year. And I did do my liquid edging yesterday evening because we had a chance of rain, and because I knew it was going to be a slightly cooler weather today. So I did go ahead, even though it was needing some water, but I think it did fine, and hopefully we'll still get some water. And even if we don't, I will plan on watering today, this evening. But I just don't have the time to water the whole garden and do liquid edging or any other job that takes a long time, because there's not enough daylight after it gets a little bit cooler in the evening. And actually it's not even a whole lot cooler. That's just about as much as I can do. So, but I'm very grateful again that I got so much done before the hot weather came, and I'm grateful for this little period of cooler weather, and I'm going to see what I can get done in this span of time. I did get the yellow zinnias up while we were having a slightly cooler weather, a period of slightly cooler weather, about 4 days. And tomorrow is supposed to be our best chance of rains, and some people around us have gotten some rain. Other than a little bit of mist, we missed all of the rain. And I don't see that it looks like it might rain tonight, but hopefully it'll build up and come on to us. That is just a hope, though, because it's not looking like it's a probability. I hate to say that, but I'm definitely going to need to water right now. Actually, I'm fixing to do that, but I am grateful that I got this part up, and even if I didn't get them all from going to seed, because I'm sure some of them had already dropped seed, but we'll see what will happen, and at least it will keep them from having as many as they would have had if I left all those there to go to seed. And I know there are other people that feel like me in the summertime. Some people just let their gardens go when it gets so hot, and I feel like it. I don't want to let it go, though, because I know most likely there will be at least a short period in between the extreme heat and the extreme cold, and we'll have some time to just enjoy our gardens. But honestly, I don't enjoy the garden during the summer. I always just dream that I could just leave it and come back out in September sometime and it'll all be looking great, which everybody knows that could never happen. It has to be taken care of pretty much daily if it's going to even survive. And I feel pretty sure that a lot of the garden even feels the way I do, like it could just quit and then come back up in the fall. And it does try to do that. It renews itself in the fall, trying again. But my joy and excitement for the garden wanes in the heat, very much so. But it was somewhat exciting just to feel a little bit different for a while, just with that hope that we were going to have cooler weather and rain and a break from having to water. But it goes so quickly, and we really haven't had a real break, although I did not water a couple of days and it went ahead and made it through, but not without some of it wilting down quite a bit. But it still gave me the opportunity to do a few other things outside of the garden. I got to see my stepchildren. I got to go to my husband's nephew's funeral service, and I'm so glad. I wouldn't have wanted to miss that. Even though it's a sad thing, it's, you know, it's also a great thing because it's also a homecoming in heaven, and that's great. But you can't help but feel the loss and the heartache of it all too. So today is the 2nd day of August, so hopefully it'll go pretty fast, and time does seem to fly for me. The older you get, the faster time seems to go. But I'm ready for fall. I'm ready to just see if I'll be able even to come back with some energy and with some ambition and some hope and drive and all that stuff that makes us feel good about ourselves and about whatever we're trying to accomplish or do. And I just like that so much better than this period of just like, well, maybe we'll get through it. Those times are not the fun times. And this is some of the work I did in the garden that's piled here in the back of the pickup, and we'll take this to probably just to the ravine by our church, because they said we could use that, so that's what we'll probably do. And here, if I can get it for you, is another sign of fall, the little garden spiders. Today is August the 4th, and last night we got that soaking rain, finally. And here I am still complaining, sort of, because God has been so good to me this season in the garden, and I've still struggled with it, but He has been wonderful to give me the things that I need. And that also means that since the ground is softer today, I will be able to take out some of these old natural daylilies that are just they're going to start taking over, and they're ready to pull up. And so wonder I hadn't already pulled them up. But the good thing about that too is that these stalks are taller than most of my others, so that will let me know, even though the color of them is gone, that will let me know which ones I need to take out. And so I'm going to try to do that, and I'm pretty sure I won't get them all because not all of the stalks are up and tall, but I will get some of them, enough of them that it'll be easier to finish getting them out hopefully next spring. So the last time I tried to get these out, the shovel just bounced off like it was bouncing off concrete almost. So I'm hoping today will be different and that I get some of this accomplished. And look at this. I thought this would probably be the yellow hummingbird mint, but it's the orange hummingbird mint, or Agastiki, however you say that. This is the one I said we'd keep an eye on and see what it did. And today it's showing signs of bloom after that wonderful rain. The garden and I just love that rain. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.